Thank you guys for being here today. My name is Derrick Broze, 34 years old, lifelong Houstonian. I am running for mayor of Houston, and I will be on the ballot in just a few weeks. For those of you who haven't heard of me, I recommend you check out our website, derrickbroze.com, to find out the 9 core issues that we're raising. The 9 core platforms that we're talking about are things that you will not hear from anybody on the stage, let alone the candidates who decided not to be here with you today. I want to give you a little bit of background on myself, though, before we get into the issues. For the last 10 years, I've been active in Houston, both in the streets, in the community, and in multiple ways as an activist, raising money for various organizations, hosting rallies, protests, marches, civil disobedience, building community gardens from the 5th Ward to the Montrose area to all around, working with communities that are underserved, underrepresented, and that need somebody to help amplify their voices. Over the years, I've got into journalism. I spent the last 10 years or so as a journalist, producing documentaries. I've written 4 books, writing articles, and focused both here in Houston as well as national and international. I've been to places like Standing Rock, I've been to Ferguson. I've been here in the city, confronting the current mayor, confronting the previous mayor, confronting the current police chief, the previous police chief, and even trying to hold the local media accountable when they don't do their job. So you can see me as the advocate, the watchdog who wants to go into this position, not as a politician, not as somebody looking to launch a political career, but somebody who wants to hold these folks accountable and actually represent what you care about, amplify your voices, and expose the corruption within our city, and not in a generalized way, but in a very real, concrete way. Thank you for your time. Oh yeah, so of course the super neighborhoods and all neighborhoods and communities should have a voice, and I think there should be a more active voice. One thing I want to say is that, it's time for us to wake up as residents, as citizens, and as neighbors, and as Houstonians, and question the people in power, question why our voices are ignored, and actually start asserting our influence and taking control of our neighborhoods, building some local neighborhood power as opposed to just waiting for what the city council is going to do. The super neighborhoods, there's talk of why are certain neighborhoods active and some aren't. It's a conversation that we're having, right? There needs to be a conversation between the people in the communities and the people who are trying to represent those in the communities. And if that conversation is not happening, we're not going to get anywhere. We have a plan for what we're calling CIs, community institutions, community integration, community involvement. It could either replace or work supplementally to these super neighborhoods. But no matter how many super neighborhoods there are, if you're not getting actively engaged, your voices are not going to be heard. So don't rely on these people here to do it for you. You have to take an active role in your community if you actually want to be heard. I think I'm probably the person who knows the most about smart grids and 5G on the stage. Go ahead and use your favorite search engine, search Derrick Broze 5G. You'll find a year's worth of videos that have been going to city council, confronting this council member and this mayor about the privacy concerns, about the health concerns, about the loss of local power concerns. The mayor can sit here and say that they're giving you a voice, but the fact of the matter is that last summer, the mayor was given the 5G Wireless Champion Award by the telecom lobby, specifically for removing regulations and restrictions. Go look at the press release and rolling this forward. I've been there, going to city council over and over. The mayor's literally ran away from me 3 times asking him questions about this. He can sit up here on stage and act like he cares about your privacy. I've actually interviewed attorneys with the American Civil Liberties Union who said that 5G and the smart grid could, quote, be a wolf in sheep's clothing that allows government surveillance, police surveillance, local surveillance. There's also hundreds of doctors questioning the health concerns. There's loss of local power concerns. Look my name up, look up 5G, you'll see who's been fighting and bringing these concerns to the table, because none of these people have it, and they're just going to BS you about it. So I believe the question was asking related to bars with loud noises, parking situations, as well as pollution and contaminants, how do we protect neighborhoods from that? First off, just to touch on the noise ordinance. For one, we do have a noise ordinance. I don't know if anybody remembers 2012 or so, around that time when it got passed. And it was horrible, because what happens is somebody complains about noise, and you may have a legitimate complaint. The cops show up, and they basically decide if they think it's too loud, and they were arresting promoters, they were arresting DJs, they pulled a shotgun on me and arrested me at an event I put on. This is 2012. So my point is that ordinance is not being effectively put into place already. Maybe Mr. King has a point with putting, we can put some devices in facilities where they can actually detect the decibel level themselves. But we also have to think about how our neighborhoods are affected by pollution. We live in a big oil and gas city, and there are neighborhoods, Manchester and others, where they have the highest rates of cancer in the country, and nobody's fighting for them and staying up for them. We're talking about parking and noise, but what about the communities that are literally having their lives threatened by the neighbors that are coming in these facilities? We have fires going on in the city, we have environmental disasters.
That's your time, sir. Here's your yes.
So on the topic of transparency and public engagement, first off, the mayor says they have town halls, February and August, twice a year. 3 times a year, that's supposed to be
hemp for industrial farming purposes. And I think Texas, Houston should be first up to that. We already have over here in the East End, the former Maxwell coffee plant is now being converted to an production plant.
That's right.
So I think we can create an entire industry here. We have a plan to start planting hemp and other native plants along the bayous and all the waterways. They get very deep roots, they drink water very quickly, and they can help with flooding and erosion. So I think we need to embrace that idea, that strategy, as well as cleaning out the drainage, cleaning out the sewer lines, actually taking time to clean out the debris, the trucks and the vehicles from the bayou.
That's it.